Good morning. We're now in Parshat Shmini. Uh, this is the Parsha which on which the the tabernacle is now consecrated. Work begins in it, and we have the death of Nadav and Avihu, and the laws of kashrut, kosher laws, and this ties neatly into Passover. First of all, the idea of us leaving Egypt. We are constantly reminded in the Torah that God keeps saying, I'm the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. Why? To remind us that we're on a mission. And unlike the Blues Brothers, we do not create havoc with our mission. Our mission is not to break the law, but to abide by the law and to bring the concept of a Torah nation to the world. What does that mean? As I mentioned, in Israel, there are many who refer to themselves not as religious, quote unquote, but as Torani, or obeyers of the Torah. Because in the Jewish concept, religious means there's a separation of church and state. In ancient Israel, there was no separation per se. The king, while not being a religious official, was bound by Jewish law. And Jewish law gets into business ethics as well as personal ethics. Parshat Shmini shows what happens, though, quite possibly, when you become overzealous. Nadav and Avihu, there's many commentators said they meant to do the right thing. They wanted to offer a sacrifice to God, but it was unauthorized and it was wrong. So this is a very important point in Judaism. Like I said, God wants us to enjoy life. He put us here, though, for a purpose. And when we get outside of the bounds, even if they're well-intentioned, then we get into trouble. And he does not want us to be overzealous. So now this ties into Pesach, or Passover. We'll be sitting down on the first night of Passover for a great meal, but we have to hold back. We can't just go into the meal. We celebrate, first we have to tell the story of leaving Egypt, and that God took us out of Egypt, that Moses was his servant. All this culminates with the story of Passover. But we're also told not to be too zealous in our actions. This is the reason for the answer to the wise son, who asks all these deep questions. And yet we answer him, don't eat anything after dessert. To say, hey, relax, enjoy, experience. Nadav and Avihu did not relax and enjoy. They went overboard. And that's God telling us, be faithful to the Torah, but don't let it drive you crazy. Something to think about.